Hi there, I'm Sid and I'm the gal behind Lucky Lady Quilt Co. In this video, I'm going to be making my own wedding dress, which is terrifying and a bit daunting. I might have mentioned earlier that I eloped with my now husband in Japan this past spring. Despite eloping, we still wanted to have a backyard wedding party with friends and family, and I thought it would be fun to make my own wedding party dress. Since we wanted the party to be super casual, I was looking for a dress that wasn't too fancy, had a midsummer vibe, would be comfortable, would also be flattering, but wouldn't be restrictive, and the list goes on. Anywho, I went down a rabbit hole looking through Pinterest inspo photos, and I found a ton of different dresses that I absolutely loved. Specifically, I landed on the idea of making a tulle overlay dress, and I came across a dress that I absolutely loved it, but it was $1,200. And in a way that kind of worked out because I wasn't planning to buy it. I was just trying to get inspo, so that was what I went with. And I started looking for similar sewing patterns. I've never worked with tulle, so I knew that would be a huge learning curve. And I also wanted to make a few edits of my own to whatever pattern I went with. And I ended up finding a sewing pattern on Etsy that was perfect and everything that I wanted. I didn't end up making pretty much any edits to it, but the shop is by Gunnar Dethridge and the pattern is called Vespertine Dress. I did make a bit of a mistake and I accidentally bought the pattern that was only for sizes 14 through 32. So then I had to go back and find the pattern with the smaller sizes and buy that one, which was a bit of a bummer. The pattern does have godets, and I definitely had to look up how to pronounce godet, so I'm so sorry if I'm still saying it wrong. Godets are something that I've never dabbled in. It also came with struggles, and there were struggles sewing the tulle. I did have a mid-project full freak out. And I also ended up making a spontaneous second look because of the freak out. So I am excited to show you how it went. But here we go. All right, so I printed out the sewing pattern that I'm planning to use and I put it all together, taped it and everything. So I had been just waiting on the fabric to arrive in the mail. But I had heard from Mood, which is where I ordered the tulle originally, and they said that the like lavender color I had ordered was no longer available, so they can either refund me or I can order a different color, and I ordered a different color. So it finally arrived and I went with peach. So I think it'll look okay. I do really like this color, and in a weird way I'm kind of happy that I switched it last minute, or that I had to switch it. But yeah, so now that I have the pattern cut out and the fabric, I am gonna start cutting everything out, which is a little terrifying, but here we go. I cut everything out, but I didn't realize how difficult this is gonna be to sew together. I tried to film a bit more when I was sewing the top bodice together, and I can't tell if you can see any of it, but it's gonna be interesting. So I did end up sewing down the darts. So there's like a little extra fabric in the back and the front, but I actually really like it. I like how you can see the thread through the fabric. So I did as much as I want to do with the top, and now I'm going to work on putting the skirt together. So I have 11 cutouts plus the front and the back that I need to sew together. I think my biggest worry actually is that since I don't have the lining attached to the tulle, that it's going to be too heavy on for the skirt to be attached to the top, So I might need to find a solution that will alleviate some of the pressure for like holding the the skirt up at the waistline. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. But tis doable, and I'm gonna keep working on it. So I'll be back. So I was able to put most of the dress together, and I think it took me about 10 hours to put it all together. But it's kind of hard to see since it is so see-through, but for the most part, everything went well. I did realize that if you make any mistakes with the tool, that it is impossible to unpick what you've done. So there's definitely a few errors that I've made that I am just gonna have to live with. But the good thing is that they're really pretty hard to tell. So like, for example, I sewed one of these like inside out, but you never know because I am gonna trim and clean all of the seams up. But that was definitely a realization that I had, where if you do it once, like that's all you're gonna do, and unpicking it is just like the worst thing ever. My machine did jam a couple times, which was really sad. So I spent a while like unpicking like little jammed bits, and I need to figure out why my sewing machine was doing that. But anyhow, but yeah, let's see if I can get a better look. All right. So yeah, this is what we have so far. I think now that I can see what it looks like, I think I can finish it pretty quickly, but let's see. I went to the store and bought ribbon, so I'm gonna use it as, I guess like bias tape basically around the neck and the back. And then I'm gonna add buttons, kind of like wedding dress style, where you just see like a whole row of buttons. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on that now. And then once I have this dress done, I am gonna make the lining, and I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I will finish this and I'll be back. I'll show you what it looks like with all the buttons added and everything, and then I will figure out the lining later. So yeah, that's my update. So I have taken about a month break from this project because I kind of got super overwhelmed. I had added the ribbon to the armhole, neck holes, and then it ended up being a little wavy, and then I kind of just had like a little bit of a breakdown thinking it was too fancy, or I don't know if it was what I wanted. So anyhow, I took a break. During that break, I actually ended up making a second look. So I might end up wearing both looks, or one or the other. I need opinions, but I'll show you the second look soon. I'm gonna finish this one first, and I will go grab them. Hold on. Basically, all I have left to do is clean up the seams, which are hard to see on camera, but I had planned to add buttons going down the back, and after adding the ribbon, I don't think the buttons are gonna work because I had sewed it so it kind of overlaps like this. Yeah, the ribbon was like such a pain in the ass to work with. In all honesty, it killed me. But so I wanted to put the ribbons here, and I was gonna make like either, I got this little kit in the mail which kind of matched the fabric perfectly. So it was all the buttons, and then it also came with the fasteners. However, the way I had sewed the dress, I just can't seem to find a way that would make the fastener and the buttons look good together without making like buttonholes and totally not using this. So as much as I really wanted that to be part of this dress, I think realistically I am pivoting and going with another option. So the other option I have is I have Velcro, but this is used for like, it was advertised as doll clothing. So I'm still gonna use it. I think it'll work. I'm just gonna attach it to the ribbon here, and then that way it'll like fall over the other nicely, and it won't hopefully be bulky. This will look better in the long run, at least for my little DIY sewing skills. One day I can have a dress that has buttons down the back. What else? There was another update that I had. Yeah. So I had also made a slip dress that went under this. It was satin, but that sparked my breakdown because when I made it and put the two together, it was so fancy. It was too fancy. And since I'm having a backyard party, I didn't want that to be, I don't know, I just didn't want to feel that overdressed, which is how I was feeling, hence the break that I took from this dress. So I actually ended up just getting a cotton slip that I'll try on with this. It definitely downplays the fanciness, but it still lets me have fun to wear this tulle dress. I will sew the back and then I will try it on. So I'll be right back. All right, so here's what it looks like so far. It's very sheer. I can't tell if you can see the edge. But anywho, I think I want to cut it a little bit shorter so I'm not tripping over it. And also, I am by myself and I wasn't able to properly fasten the back, but this is what it looks like. So ignore the bumps because I will have someone help me properly put it on. I do think the cotton slip is so much better than the silk, or the satin one that I had made, but it's very casual and it's also very thin, so shapewear is needed. I can't tell if it's like too tight for the backyard event because I don't know, I want to be comfortable. That's like my biggest thing. I'm comfortable now, but yeah, I'm gonna need a little shapewear for this one. I'll try the other look on, so at least you can get the idea of both of them. And then I will make my final edits. The party is in, not this weekend, but next weekend, so I have about 10 days. Yeah, I'll just do the finishing touches on this dress, and then I will show you look 2 right now. Okay, one sec. This is look 2. Okay, so it's linen. I added pockets. It's a 2-piece set, so the top is separate from the bottom, but I wish I had a better angle. Here we go, let's see. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna have heels. I like how flowy it is. I love the low back. I'm happy with the pockets. The other thing I like is that it hits in my, like, perfectly on my waist, so if I do end up eating, it won't be like I can let my stomach out, if that makes sense. But yeah, so let's see. I also didn't film any part of the sewing process for this one because it was in my state of panic from the first dress when I didn't know what I wanted to wear. So I do need to wash it. I used like pink chalk, and I can't tell if you can see it, but I used it on the darts, and so I need to try to get the pink chalk off. Also, the pockets, which is a feature I love, you can see them like through the skirt, since I have fusible interfacing in addition to the linen, but it's still not enough to cover the pockets. So I'm gonna have to get a white slip, and I think that is it. So I just need to get the chalk out, get a white slip to hopefully hide the pockets. And then I think that's it for this outfit. I still have a ton to do at the house. I am trying to make everything as like pretty and clean as possible. Have been watering all of the plants in hopes that they don't die, all the landscaping plants. So yeah, I think I'll be back. I will show you all the final edits I've made, and then I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll just show you the whole backyard party and what I end up wearing. So yeah, see you in 10 days. So I am really excited with how the white two-piece look turned out. It was so comfortable. It was so much fun to start the night in this outfit. I think it was the best case scenario for the night. But yeah, it was great for the weather. I did find a slip, so I was able to at least kind of hide the pockets that I was talking about. And the low back was definitely a highlight. I also was so excited that I utilized both outfits. I ended up changing into this look halfway through the night, and it ended up being kind of a fun little grand reveal for the second look, and I had such a fun time frolicking around with the tulle. I honestly want to make more dresses in tulle. It was just that much fun, even with my mid-project panic. But thank you again for following along and enjoying this dressmaking process with me. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!